Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. So I want to talk Tesla charging, specifically free charging, because that's almost primarily how I charge this car. This is my 2022 Tesla Model Y long range. I've had it a couple months now. I've owned a Tesla Model S for a couple years, and I still have that. So I currently have two Teslas in my garage, and I love them. I'll never have another car. I'll never not have a Tesla. Let's put it that way. So I've really enjoyed this Model Y. And one thing that's I think is kind of cool is Tesla in the Tesla app has a stat called like your charging stats, and the charging stats kind of tells you where you charge, mainly what you pay for your charging if you put in your rate. So for example, you can put in your utility rate, how much you pay per kilowatt hour, and then when you charge at home, it tells you how much you've charged over the last 31 days. So over the last 31 days, if we look at my charging stats, my car has been charged 23% of the time at home, 77% at a public charger, which has been free for me. Guys, I'm obsessed with finding free charging around town. Around my town, there's like a bunch of free chargers, and I'm super excited to when I find one, or especially like if I'm going someplace else and I find a free charger. I'm always about getting free charging, especially with gas prices being as high. And these Teslas are not cheap, so you kind of feel like, all right, I'm paying all this money for a Tesla, so if I can get the charging for free, that just is kind of a better. That just kind of makes it even more reasonable, even more economically feasible to justify the cost, because you're not paying a lot for the electricity. So I have two chargers specifically around me. One is from my utility company, my public utility power company, the electricity provider for my area. They have a substation that's 1.2 miles away from my house, and they have 5 chargers in their parking lot, completely free to the public to use. 4 of them are like level 2, where it has only, it's like, you only get 25 miles of range per hour, so it's like plugging into your house. But one of their chargers has a CCS CHAdeMO combination charger, where it charges at 25 kilowatts per hour, and that gives me about 75 miles per charge, which is almost 3 times as fast as charging at my house. And so I'll occasionally go there. This car can get charged up to 326 miles range, and so I'll go like once or twice a week and charge this thing up, and that's really all I need to charge it. So I very rarely charge this car at home, which is awesome. So I think with my charging stats, I've only spent like $20 over the last 31 days to charge this car, which is pretty low. It's hardly anything, actually. And that's probably going close to 1,000 miles in a month. So I mean, compare that to gas prices, and that's a huge difference. So I like to find the free charging. So that's one charger. The other one is a ChargePoint charger. So if there's a couple apps, I'm going to give you guys a screenshot here of this is a screenshot of my iPhone, and these are the apps that I have on my phone. For one of them is the Tesla app, and then these other ones like the ChargePoint, EVgo, Electrify America, EV Structure. There's a couple free ones like that around me. So like when I go places, I look on this PlugShare app. I always check the PlugShare app to see if there's free chargers around where I'm going to be parking or where I'm going. Like for example, last week, my wife and I went to this RV show at the convention center. It was like 30 miles away. We went to the convention center and parked there. So before we got there, I looked on the PlugShare app, and I found that a few blocks away, I was going to have to walk a little bit, but a few blocks away, there is a county building that had free ChargePoint chargers there, and it was like plugging in at my house. But we were at this RV show for like 4 hours, so in 4 hours I got like almost 100 miles of range back in my battery, so I didn't have to, it was a free trip there and back, and then some. So even though I had to walk like 5 or 6 minutes from the city building to this convention center, I thought it was worth it, because I got the free charging off of it. There's also a park about 1.5 miles from my house, and they have 4 ChargePoint chargers, and I will commonly go there as well. One thing that helps me with this is, guys, if you have some kind of a way to get around, like a scooter, like an electric scooter. I really like the electric scooters. I have one that just folds up. I put it in the trunk. Or if you have like the bike rack, if you have like the tow hitch on your car, like this is the Model Y, it has the tow hitch on it. If you have the tow hitch, throw your bike rack on, put your bike on, and go to the public charger and then ride your bike home, and you get a little exercise in and you get free charging. So it's kind of a cool thing to find the free charging, because you're saving even more money by having the Tesla if you get these free charges. Now it depends on where you're gonna, like where you live in your city. I live in northern Utah. There's not a ton of electric cars up here. I don't it's not like Southern California where like every other car is a Tesla. I mean, it's quite a few when you get into that area. But like in my neighborhood of like 100 homes, there's probably 3 Teslas or something. I mean, I have 2, and then there's a couple other neighbors that have 1 or 2. So it's they're not as abundant here, and therefore the free charging is available quite frequently. I rarely have to ever wait if for these 2 free chargers by my house. I rarely have to wait. They're rarely occupied, and so I'm able to go there and get charging. Now it's not always going to be the case. It's going to eventually, everyone's going to catch on. These free chargers are eventually going to go away, and we'll all have to pay for public charging. Just like gas stations, there's no place that gives away free gas anywhere. It doesn't matter. Now a lot of the ones around me are at like government places, like city buildings, city office buildings. Not a lot of private entities are doing them. Parks, park and recreation places, or like utility companies, places like that are is kind of where I'm seeing the most of the free charging. There is a hospital by my house. It's a privately owned hospital, and it has the charge point. You have to pay for it. It's 50 cents per hour for the first 2 hours, and then it goes up after that. I've never charged there because it's not worth it for me to pay for charging. If I'm going to pay for charging, I'm going to do it at my house, because it just doesn't make sense to pay more for something you can get at your house for less. So one of the chargers is the CCS CHAdeMO adapter. You have to have the CHAdeMO adapter, and Tesla used to sell this CHAdeMO adapter, and I bought one right before they discontinued them, because I'd always look on there and the Tesla website, see if they had them in stock. They were always out of stock. They had them in stock, and I bought one, and then probably like a month later, they're completely off the website. But they're a big bulky adapter to fit into the CHAdeMO. The CHAdeMO was like the adapter that would fit for the Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf kind of used that adapter, and so a lot of these kind of older, faster charger systems are set up on this with this CHAdeMO. But I have it and I use it because I go to this fast charger by my house, and it charges me up at 75 kilowatts per hour, or no, 25 kilowatt per hour, and that equates to about 25 miles of range per hour that I charge there. So it's pretty quick. Like I go there, leave it there 2-3 hours, and that's about all it needs. So if you're like me and you're a cheapskate like me, I guess when it comes to charging, it's like if it's free, it's like getting free gasoline. Look for free charging locations, because it's kind of fun to find free charging places and get to be able to drive your car for basically free. You're driving your Tesla for free. So look on the PlugShare app. The PlugShare app is a great resource for that. Also look on the ChargePoint. You can look at the EVgo and Electrify America. I haven't actually used any Electrify America stations. I'm still waiting for Tesla to come out with the CCS adapter. The CCS adapter allows you to plug in. There's more CCS adapter charging than there is the CHAdeMO. The CHAdeMO is a little bit slower. Some of the CCS can get up to 350 kilowatts, which is faster than the Tesla supercharger network. So most cars being built now are going to be the CCS adapter. So you're really going to see the Tesla plug and the CCS adapter, or the CCS plug. Those are going to be the two kind of the charging standards. And it could be the case that Tesla goes to the CCS adapter so that there's one universal plug. That would be nice, but for the time being, we have the two. There's also the CHAdeMO, and then you also have the other ones around me. Most of the charge points and then the slower ones use this, the J1772 plug adapter. This will come with your car. This goes into the Tesla part, and then this is the J1772 plug that just clips on here, and then you just start charging your car. So always keep my adapter ready and available so that I can use that. So over the last 30 days, this car's cost me $20 to drive almost 1,000 miles, and I think that's pretty impressive. It has cost me a little bit in time because I've sometimes like I'll drop my car off at the public charger, my wife will come pick me up, or I'll ride my scooter or the bike back and forth to it. So it does, but if that's just time that I normally would just be hanging out anyways, it's not that big of a deal, and I get some exercise if I ride my bike, or it's nice to get out in the summertime and ride the scooter around. So I don't feel like it's I'm losing out. It's costing me a lot in time. It's time that I wouldn't be doing much anyways, after hours work and stuff like that. Anyways, guys, hope you found that information helpful. Look for free charging. It's around. It's going to continue to pop up, especially as these new charging stations are going to be coming on board. Places are incentivized to put in charging, and if you can take advantage of it, it's definitely worth doing it. So guys, stick around. The next video I'm going to do a full review video of this Tesla Model Y. After living with it for a few months, I've got some things I want to share about it. And thanks for watching the video. Leave your comments down below. Do you guys also like the free charging, and do you go after it? Do you seek after it like I do? It'd be interesting to hear. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.